The Rangers 2-1 at Madison Square Garden. Anders Sörensen picks up his first NHL win, and is the first Swede to win a game as an NHL head coach. Lots of fun. Join us for the postgame show next. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks post-game podcast. Hawks win 2-1 over the Rangers. I'm Jay Zawoski with Greg Boyson and Mario Tirabassi. Nate's here running the show again. Thanks for being here with us. We got a lot of people watching already. Wow, thank you for that. Probably got a lot of carryover from our watch-along. If you're in the YouTube page, make sure you hit that like button for us and subscribe to our YouTube page as well. And if you're catching up on the podcast, thank you. Make sure you are following or subscribed on your favorite podcast app. Like I said, Hawks win 2-1. They get goals from Tyler Bertuzzi and Taylor Hall in one of the more entertaining and encouraging games of the year.
For sure. Any night the Rangers lose and the Blackhawks win is a great night. Any night that it happens in the same game,
Easy.
even better.
Even better.
And I think Chris Drury is on the old, am I going to have a job in the morning kind of watch.
Wait a minute. Chris Drury played. He has to be a good GM.
Uh-huh. He also, well, you know what? He was also a Little League World Series champion.
I don't want to hear it.
So
he played. He's automatically a good GM.
Maybe he could be a good baseball GM because he played baseball too.
You could try that too. Probably both at the same time.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, he's going to be out of a job real soon here. Because
things don't get better.
Kind of sabotaged his own team. They were 12-4-1 at one point, though that was smoke and mirrors and Igor Shesterkin, just like the last couple of years have pretty much been. But then he lets it get out that he's looking to trade either Jacob Trouba and or Chris Kreider, your captain, and another one of your probably pseudo captain. I mean, Chris Kreider's your longest tenured leader, popular guy. You know. Rangers legend at this point.
Yeah.
You let that get out, or if you listen to some people, planted it, made sure it got out, and had the ill effect. And then you finally trade Jacob Trouba, and you haven't won since. You've lost at home to the Seattle Kraken and the Chicago Blackhawks. Not exactly the cream of the crop in the NHL. No. The Kraken are playing all right this year, but
the Blackhawks aren't.
No, the Blackhawks are not. 5-game losing streak snapped.
Snapped.
But Anders Sörensen, first NHL win. Good for him.
Yeah.
Saw him leaving the ice. He was holding back that smile. Great guy. You know, one of these guys that had the crazy hockey journeys to get where he is.
Yeah.
What was the team you pulled up the other day? The Tupelo T-Rexes or something like that?
Yeah. Jay pulled it up.
Yeah.
I mean, he was playing for teams in the the SPHL and all that.
It's California Penal League.
Basically,
here are the teams he played for in North America: the Fort Worth Fire, the Tupelo T-Rex, the Mobile Mystics, and the Baton Rouge Kingfish.
I mean, those are legendary hockey teams.
Mm-hmm.
All of them have amazing jerseys, though, I will say.
Right up there with the Canadians and the Maple Leafs, the Tupelo T-Rex.
Yeah.
I need to get a Tupelo T-Rex hat and then wear it to practice one day and see if he notices.
To see if
I'm sure he'd notice.
He probably has.
You might be the only
hat
in
the problem
existence.
if I get it off of eBay, I'm probably buying it from.
It might be his. Yes. It might actually be his.
Sörensen. Yeah. I mean, good for him. This was coming into this game. This was an opportunity for this Blackhawks team to try and take advantage of a team that was also reeling, and they did. I mean, it was a little sloppy at times for both teams, but that created for some more high event hockey. And the first game under Anders Sörensen was noticeably different in the way that they were playing. But again, it was against the Winnipeg Jets with barely any practice time. Like, it's tough. But this one, I think it was really evident the difference in the way that Anders Sörensen is going to want this team to play compared to how they played under Luke Richardson. I mean, you look at the third period playing with a 1-goal lead, there was no back on the heels play. Like they were still aggressive. They were still out there trying to defend the lead by trying to possess the puck and create, still creating chances. And the Rangers, I mean, they're still a good team, still a better team, and they push, but they were able to withstand it. And I mean, it's encouraging. It's encouraging in game 2 to see the evidence of the different style and to see it, like, see the benefits from it, and for this team to see that and say, like, okay, like that's big for buy-in.
100%. Yeah, it's just it's been a more entertaining style. There was a comment up there a little bit. Zoom up a little bit there for me. A little more. There we go. Anthony says it's weird to say, but the Hawks may be better suited for the back and forth action. There was more chaos tonight, but it actually benefited the Hawks. Korchinski and the D jumping into plays helped our offense. That's it. And look, like, Anders Sörensen twice at this introductory press conference and before the first game talked about how the Hawks were fast. Mm-hmm. And I think you could hear a collective like, like, what? Are you watching the same team we are?
Yeah.
But they certainly looked faster in this game. They were winning races to pucks, and the system is a big part of it. And we talked about it during the watch along. Like, I think Luke Richardson's strategy was, okay, we don't have a lot of scoring here, so we need to win. And I know this game was 2-1, which is ironic, but like we need to win games 2-1 or 3-2 or whatever it might be. This game, the Hawks could have won this game 4-1, 5-1 if not for Shesterkin. He made a couple incredible saves. They had no business making a wide open Connor Bedard one-timer. He stopped. A Ryan Donato breakaway. He stopped. What did Bertuzzi hit the crossbar twice?
Yeah.
In this game, like this could have been way more lopsided.
You can also say the Rangers could have won.
Söderblom
sure,
made some big saves too. Yeah.
I mean,
this game was 2-1 because both goalies played really well.
Good goalies. But this is a game that the Hawks have lost many times already this season. This close game. Come out into the third
last
period.
3 seasons, basically.
Like when the third period started, I had said, if you weren't watching on the watch along, I had said, this is the difference here. I want to see this team keep pressuring and try and get that third goal. Don't just sit back and hope the clock runs out before the Rangers score. And for the most part, they did. The first part of that period, they were still pressuring. They drew a penalty. After the Rangers killed that penalty, the Rangers had about a 3 or 4 minute span there where they were kind of pressuring, but it never really yielded anything super dangerous. And just look at the turnaround in this game. After the first period at 5-on-5, the Rangers had 25 shot attempts to 15 in that first period. They had scoring chances were 12-3 in favor of the Rangers, 4 high danger chances to 0 for the Blackhawks. The rest of the game, the Blackhawks had 17 scoring chances to 8 for the Rangers. Yep. They had 11 high danger scoring chances to 1 for the Rangers for the last 40 minutes. That kind of seemed like the Blackhawks and Rangers flipped their. How many times have we seen the Blackhawks have a really good first period and then just get dominated the rest of the game?
Right.
Tonight they got dominated in the first period and then they were the better team for the second 2 periods and got rewarded for it. Arvid Söderblom gets rewarded. We were talking about his great numbers and he only had 1 win. Now he's got 2. Now you get that win with this new, 2-1-2 system of Sörensen. That gets some confidence there. It's easier for players to say, okay, this is working. We won. Like, this is great. Let's keep at it. Let's improve. Let's get better. So, another winnable game going Thursday. The Islanders are a beatable team. Mm-hmm. You pressure them, they're not exciting in any way. So this is a nice little stretch you can have, and we'll talk. I'm sure we'll get to Kevin Korchinski. Great game for him. Everybody wants him to stay in the NHL now, but that's not going to happen. But
if he plays his way in, there's nothing to say he can't play his way in, but it also doesn't seem like that necessarily is the path for him.
If you got Martinez back in a game or two and Seth Jones started skating yesterday, you get those two guys back. I mean, whose spot is he going to take?
Right. No, I agree.
Right.
It's unlikely that he stays, but
very encouraging what we saw out of him tonight.
Well, he's one of our nominees for the 4-star of the game, so get your votes in. Here are the 3 stars. I can never say this guy's name. A goal for the Rangers.
Willie Cully.
Cully. That's not how he spells it.
Forget the Y.
Kylie.
Get rid of the.
It's Cully, is it not?
Cuylle.
Cooley?
Kylie.
Cooley. It's Cooley. You're right.
Guess what? Not going to work
it's
here
not
anymore.
Logan.
Söderblom stopped 29 to 30 Ranger
Mike
shots.
Cooley.
He's your number 2 star, and your number 1 star, Taylor Hall,
You're right.
with a
It's
goal
Cooley.
and an assist. Taylor Hall, very good game. Deserves
game.
a star for sure.
Cooley, otherwise known as loser. It's spelled loser because the Rangers are losers.
All right, so Korchinski's one of the nominees, 16:54 of ice time, 2 shots, 4 shot attempts. Tyler Bertuzzi all over the place today. A goal, 5 shots, 10 shot attempts.
He was very active.
Connor Murphy, 2 shots on goal, 5 shot attempts, 22-10 of ice time, and 6 block shots.
Also a very active game.
Yeah, like all these guys were active.
A very important block at the end of the game, too.
But this is so I know we're close to the break zone, right, Nate? So let's put a pin in Korchinski for now. But just real quick on Bertuzzi. When you have the puck, he is more effective.
Yeah.
We've been saying it all year. Everyone's like, well, where is this guy? No five. He makes his hay in the offensive zone. You know, in front of the net, winning board battles, stirring up crap in front of the goalie, being a pain in the ass to play against. This game, where the Hawks had the edge in possession, the edge in shots, the edge and all that stuff, there's a reason Tyler Bertuzzi was one of the best players on the ice. Now, is a 10-shot attempt night going to be normal for him? Probably not.
Right.
Why not?
But when you look at the next 4 years of Tyler Bertuzzi, as this team gets better, there's going to be more nights than this where you say, then when you say, oh my God, why is this guy on the team? Or it is going to be another 4 long years. He has put together over the last month, I think he's been one of the more consistently positive contributing Blackhawks. Yeah. He's going to give you your head scratchers now and again. And those plays like, what was he thinking? But more often than not, he's effective. And he's been one of the more reliable forwards.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's, you know, he's played on teams that have had more success with puck possession, and that's where he's been the most effective. So, yeah, I mean, in a game where, you know, the Blackhawks have an opportunity and now a play style that projects to give them a better chance at having the puck possession advantage, you're gonna see an improvement in him. And if it sounds weird to say, but it makes sense to me at least. When you have the puck, more of your good players are going to play better. So if you continue to play this style, and if this, you know, small sample size of 2 games is any indication, the Blackhawks will be able to get rewarded against teams that they're closer in competition to, rather than having to play up or down to your competition. If you can play steadily at a certain level and have that expectation reached, you're going to win more games than they have throughout this year. So if you get guys like Bertuzzi and Hall and Tavo had an impactful game too tonight, like if you get those guys going back in the right direction this season, I'm not saying it's going to be flipped and they're going to go into playoff mode, but this season's going to look different if those guys start
like
going.
we expected it to look.
Exactly.
Like. I like that second line. I liked it when they put Donato, Bertuzzi. That's a puck possession line, and they're going to create space on the ice for Taylor Hall. Took advantage of it tonight. I like that line. If we could just figure out who the hell should play with Connor Bedard, I have the answers, but they don't want to listen to me.
Yeah. Your answers, for the record?
Teuvo Teravainen and Lucas Reichel.
I'm with you on that. All right, we're going to hit the break zone. Got your super chats. When we come back, make sure you hit that like button for us as well. We'll be back very quickly on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
And we're sponsored by the folks over at the Chicago Sports Network, the new home of the Blackhawks, the Bulls, and the White Sox. Never heard of them. CHSN will broadcast more than 300 live games per year across the Blackhawks, Bulls, and those White Sox. And they're going to feature a full lineup of original Chicago-focused sports content. They're also Chicago-based, Chicago-built, and Chicago to the core. And they're bringing it to every corner of Chicago across the 77 neighborhoods and beyond. As CHSN Chicago comes first, visit chsn.com for more info on how to watch those Bulls, Hawks, and Sox games all season long. Chicago.
Yeah. And when you're watching those games on CHSN,
Chicago.
Why not kick back and crack open a nice cold Coors Light, because wins, they're a lot more chill than losses. When it's time to choose chill, Coors Light is the perfect beer. It is mountain cold refreshment. You know that by now. When those mountains turn blue on these beautiful bottles or cans, or as we were talking about in the chat, the aluminum cans, it is as cold as the Rockies. So when you embrace the chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. And you can get some right now if you want to. You can go to CoorsLight.com/CHGO hockey. There you can order via Instacart and have it delivered right away. So make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right, we've got some super chats to get to here. We thank you always for those. McLovin with a $5 super chat says, Korch, Kaiser, and Vlasic looking real comfy under Anders. I love the way they were in the play. Korch was firing, and the shots made it through, too. Yeah, I love the offensive aggression from Kevin Korchinski in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it on the watch along. Like that's why he was the 7th overall pick. Is go be an offensive distributor, creator, be a guy that can quarterback from the blue line, the offensive possession and creation, and he's been improving in Rockford on that, improving from game 1 to game 24. I think they've played now, and it's what we all wanted him to be able to do last year when the struggles started to compound on themselves last year in the NHL. Was okay, we wish he could go to the AHL, but because of the age rules, he couldn't. So now he's in the AHL where he can, kind of learn on the fly a lot of those lessons that, you tend to learn as a young professional defenseman, and you can do it in a league where the game speed isn't too overwhelming. And now he's bringing that up to the NHL. He's back with Anders Sörensen, who he's been with for all but one game this year. Yeah. And, I mean, his objective is go out and be that offensive defenseman, and he really played well with that tonight.
Quote from Anders Sörensen. He said Kevin Korchinski was, quote, unbelievable, and will play again Thursday on Long Island.
There you go. Like to hear that.
Next super chat comes from our pal KRCHI Sports. $2 says glimpses of the future decor. Yep, yeah. And this is, last week as people are telling us like the rebuild's falling apart and the world's on fire and Kyle Davidson should be fired. Like,
stop listening to those people.
These are the guys that matter. These are the guys you want to see. So when Korchinski comes up and is noticeably one of the better players on the ice, not just Blackhawks, but one of the better players for either team.
Yeah.
That should be super encouraging. And Frank Nazar is close. It's happening soon.
Imminent.
Yes. It's happening soon. So you'll get to see that again soon.
Anders Sörensen likes playing these young kids.
Yep.
He definitely wants to get these guys up here. So that's resume building right there. That's him saying, look what I did for these guys. They are ready to play in the NHL.
Yeah.
And to me, the fact that Korchinski was the call-up with Martinez going down and all this, talk that Nazar is close, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's next week, whatever, he's going to be here sooner rather than later. I don't think it's a coincidence that this has gotten put in motion after Luke Richardson is gone. I think it is clearly obvious that this front office trusts Anders Sörensen with playing these young guys more than they did with Luke Richardson, because Luke Richardson would, I don't want to say coach the offense out of these guys, but definitely try and get them to play, two-way hockey more. Guys like that, let them go out when they're young. Let them go out and be offensive. That's what they were drafted for.
Right.
The other parts of their game, that will come with time. Let them go out there and just skate up the ice and fire the puck like Korchinski was doing tonight. Let Nazar come up here and just be an offensive dynamic player. Worry about faceoffs and defense later.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at Alex Ovechkin's career. I think it was maybe 2 seasons, he was asked to be more of a two-way guy and play more defense as the 2 worst seasons he ever had. And you go back to being, focused on offense again, and boom, right back up to 50 goals and 100 points and everything. So certain guys can play, certain guys are more versatile than others. And I think with young guys, especially, unless they are, Jonathan Toews stepping onto the ice as an 18-year-old and can play a 200-foot game right away, like a lot of guys have to just kind of tap into what they do best and then let everything else grow from there. So, I think what you've seen this year under Bedard, I think with Bedard under Luke Richardson, I think was a lot of like, he is really offensively talented, but they're tasking him with also trying to play a 200-foot defensive style game. And he's never really been asked to do that. And I think he could do that down the line of his career a little bit more effectively. But right now, like, let him go with his offense.
Yeah, like don't work the defense in and then let him get back to offense. That's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
The reason you drafted number 1 and the reason you have him in the lineup right away is so he can score for you.
Right.
There's no use at, like, sure, you want him to develop into a more rounded player. He will with time as he learns those lessons on the ice. But to take what he's done and then say, let's pull you back a little bit and really work on that 200-foot game, like,
yeah, I mean,
okay.
You don't have to worry about his subpar defense if he always has the puck.
Right.
The more time he has the puck, the less time he has for defense.
Next super chat from Thomas, $2, says, happy for Söderblom. Glad to see him get a win. After the game, he was quoted this from Ben Pope, quote, that was so much fun. That was the most fun I've had in a while. It was a childhood dream to play here watching Lundqvist growing up. It was a cool feeling to step on that ice and play as well and play as good as we did.
That's fun.
That's great. So happy for him. And Steve from Chicago, $5, says, bring me everyone from Rockford.
All right, here comes Brent Cini.
Brent Cini, yes.
Here comes Brent Cini and Austin Strand.
Andreas Athanasiou on line 1.
Yeah, well, once he's healthy.
Here's Brendan Baddock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But let's spend some time on Korchinski because I just think that I didn't really know what to expect from him tonight. I think if you were asking me before the game, I thought the minutes would be limited. I thought we would see him be tentative. I thought we would see him like just trying not to make a mistake and hang in there.
Yeah.
And clearly, Sörensen got to him before the game, pulled out his best Matt Nagy and said, be you, right? Just go be yourself. Be the guy we drafted you to be. It's what Sörensen said pregame. Kevin Korchinski was drafted to be an offensive defenseman. That's what we want him to do. And then again, after the game, calls his performance unbelievable. Korchinski was awesome in this game. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be a nice feeling to, you lose that confidence a little bit by getting sent down. Even if you understand the reasoning for it, it's got to be a kick in the nads to get sent down after you played a whole season.
Yeah.
Right? And then to come back up and immediately have that success, that's got to feel so good for Korchinski. And again, it wasn't just hanging on for dear life and just clearing the puck out when given the chance and making the safe play. No, he was engaged. He was active, putting the puck on that, doing everything that we wanted to see from Korchinski a lot last year. We saw it today. I'm thrilled for him. And it's one game, but I wonder, like, just from our chat and people listening, do you like suddenly feel better about Korchinski after just one game? Because you're looking at the stuff in Rockford and like, the numbers don't look great, and you're hearing some stuff about turnovers and all this and that.
Yeah, it's up and down, but
What I saw tonight was his best NHL game.
Yeah, it's super encouraging,
and he was the player that you envision him being.
Mm-hmm.
Offensively aggressive, and he was responsible defensively too. I mean, he never felt like a liability out there. I know, like when we saw the lineup and we saw it was going to be Korchinski and TJ Brody, we're kind of like, oh boy, this poor kid always gets paired with the, worst defenseman on the team. But they were good. They
mm-hmm.
TJ Brody was a +1 tonight. Korchinski, 2 shots on goal, 4 shot attempts. He had 1 takeaway and a block shot. No giveaways. That's a great line. Like if that's his average game in the NHL going forward, he's going to put up some points and he's going to play well. He's going to be, the guy that you thought you were getting. Now it's one game. You're going to go against the Islanders on Thursday. That's a different style of team. That's a bigger, heavier team. That's a team that's going to get on the, you get guys like Brock Nelson and Anders Lee is going to get in it. And I almost called him Anders. He's Anders. They're going to get in the forecheck, and they're going to be a bigger, heavier team, but they're also a slower team. So you can take advantage of that when you do have the puck. And they're not a dumpster fire like the Rangers are right now. They're a small paper bag on fire. They're not the whole dumpster.
Flaming bag of poo.
Yeah, they're kindling. Yeah, they're not quite a dumpster fire yet, but the Blackhawks can make them a dumpster fire by beating them twice in 4 days.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Sure. Make Patrick Waugh mad. That's not hard to do.
There you go.
No, that shouldn't be too difficult.
Korchinski, both at all strengths and at 5-on-5 today, had a positive Corsi 4 percentage, positive Fenwick as well. I mean it's good. It's good to get him back up here and have him get back in the lineup, have a positive game. Like, I think about like a lot of the people who are kind of pushing against, bringing up some of these young guys like Frank Nazar, especially, and just saying like, oh, like what if comes up here and gets used to the losing and ruins the development and everything. And it's just like, yeah, but you kind of want to get these guys up here and see what they have at the NHL level, especially in a season where you're at a point where you need a player personnel kind of shakeup and just see where they're at. And if it's a glowing, a negatively way, what's the opposite of a glowing review?
Dim.
Yeah. If it looks dim, then you send them back down, and it's nothing lost there. But if you have guys that come up and that have had some time to play in Rockford, and then you come up and see what they got, and they have positive games like this, that's something to build on. So for Korchinski, like, from what Anders said after the game, like it didn't sound like it was a sure thing that he'd be in the lineup again on Thursday, but the way he played, like he's getting rewarded again. Here, another game. You played your way into the lineup for Thursday. So that's a positive.
Regarding Nazar, I wrote a little bit about him in my weekly Pigs and Puck Rockford Ice Hog article, and writing about Frank Nazar every week is pretty much a guarantee. But I wrote about how there's been the debate the last couple of weeks since the call for Nazar to get up here has gotten louder and louder with every one goal effort.
Yeah.
And some people are patience, preaching development. I'm all for that. But as I've said many times, there's no handbook on a minimum game every player needs in the AHL. Every player is different. And I wrote, if you read it, at allchgo.com, but I'm going to reiterate that it's development. To me, the most important part of development is being challenged. And once you're not being challenged anymore, you're not developing anymore.
Yeah, you plateau.
Yes.
And 24 points in 20 games doesn't seem like a challenge right now for Frank Nazar. I'm not saying he's, can't have anything to learn from the AHL, but then maybe give him a 3 or 4 game stint here in the NHL where he's going to be challenged and see how he reacts.
Yeah.
If it's not good, you put him back in the AHL and let him dominate some more.
Start throwing him some breaking balls.
Give the kid a challenge and see how he responds. Right now, he's not being challenged much in the AHL.
I mean, look, it's and we mentioned it, like it's the same deal with Korchinski not going back to the WHL last year.
Right.
What's the point? To put up 100 points and stiff arm everybody, and like it doesn't help the development at all.
Mm-hmm.
Struggles are good. We got some. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna try and cover your cough, but yeah, I mean, it's good to show those guys where they're at, because if you keep for Nazar, if you keep going out having point to game, 2 points, point, like it's great, builds the confidence, but at some point, you want to. Those guys internally are going to be like, all right, what can you do at the next level? Like I'm playing really well. I want to step up to that next level and see where I'm at. That challenge is going to be a positive thing. And again, if the challenge is if they're not up to the challenge yet, there is nothing wrong with sending them back and saying like, all right, you got a taste of it. Let's see what we can work on down here.
Here's what we saw from you in that stint. Here's what we want you to go back to Rockford and specifically work on. And when you come back, you'll be better.
Yeah.
All right, we got to hit the break zone. Got some more super chats to get to and an update on our top shelf takeover because you are running out of time. All that next on a CHGO Blackhawks podcast. But if you're looking for the perfect way to elevate your day, you can do it at Verilife Dispensary. They've got everything you need from premium cannabis products to expert advice. Their award-winning lineup of Matter products, Matter, offers a curated line of premium flower strains and infused gummies crafted to deliver consistent quality and distinctive effects for every preference. Ooh, I like that. Magnitude distillate vapes deliver power in every pull, combining high potency with smooth, flavorful hits for an elevated experience. All of those great products and more can be found at any one of the 8 Verilife locations across Illinois, or you can browse and order ahead at verilife.com. Mention code CHGO25 in store and receive 25% off one of these amazing products today. Restrictions apply.
And from elevating your day with Verilife, you can elevate your business with ComEd. That's right. Did you guys know that ComEd can help businesses save money by becoming more energy efficient?
No.
Not a clue.
You should have told us this more often.
I will tell you.
Before the Verilife read.
I will tell you about the energy efficiency program from ComEd. It can help find up to 35% in energy savings for business owners.
35%.
Whoa!
That's incredible.
I know, right?
What do those businesses have to do to get that 35%?
All the businesses would have to do is sign up for a free facility assessment at comed.com/biz.
That sounds fantastic. I don't know why more businesses aren't doing it. I will never for the life of me, no matter how many times we have this completely organic conversation, I will never understand why more businesses aren't
stumped as well. Maybe it's because they forgot the website, comed.com/biz. How could you forget it?
Comed.com/biz. It's easy. I wake up in the morning saying comed.com/biz.
Yes. Write it on a sticky note and put it on your bathroom mirror. You'll never forget it.
Pickle says, give me a banana.
That's from the watch along.
Yes.
Terms and conditions do apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customers' energy usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
All right, super chats. $5 from the Giggities. Says pretty poetic. Sörensen gets his first NHL win as a coach with a fellow Swede and Söderblom in net.
That didn't rhyme at all.
That's cool. And yeah, it's not poetic. And Brandon with a $5 super chat says today was a green light game offensively for them. Nazar probably should start on the third line and work his way up. Korchinski was phenomenal. Good win for the coach.
I think it was a haiku.
It might have been a haiku.
Yeah, that's the only other type of poem I know.
Yeah, I the line thing, and Sörensen said it before today's game. Basically, like, everyone's worried about the line number. It's like our fourth line is not really our fourth line. We play them more than a fourth line plays. We trust them more than your average fourth line is trusted.
It's more of a stylistic thing.
Yeah, so don't really worry about the number of the line. But I think you're going to see when Nazar comes up here, he's going to be with offensive-minded players. He'll be with Tavo or Hall or Bertuzzi or maybe even Bedard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You have to. You're bringing him up here to provide offense.
Yeah.
You can't put him out there with
Craig Smith.
I don't hate the idea of like putting him with like Foligno and Dickinson, but I only as like a security blanket.
But it's counterintuitive to what we're talking about, though, where you want these guys to come up and be the players they were drafted to be, and the rest will come.
But similar to having Reichel play with Craig Smith and Pat Maroon, you force him into being like you're the offensive creator. If you put Nazar in with Jason Dickinson and Nick Foligno, those are two hard-working guys, 200-foot guys, and you say, okay, Frank, go out and be the offensive facilitator.
I don't know if you have to do that with Nazar, though.
Like, Reichel was different because he struggled for a year and a half to find offense.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, this is the only spot I got for you. Do it, kid.
Yeah.
Nazar, like Bedard, when he was with Jason Dickinson, Joey Anderson, how'd that work out? He had 2 assists that first
for Jason
game,
Dickinson.
But that second game, no shot attempts.
Mm-hmm.
But again, different coach.
Right.
So
and Foligno and Dickinson were more offensively active in this game too, even still being the guys that are supposed to be more defensively minded.
But if you're bringing up Frank Nazar, it's because he's killing it in the AHL, and you want to see him be that exciting player here. You put him on an offensive line, but not the offensive line, though the Bears could probably use that. But you want to get him being that player. I gotta check. Who did he play with when he was up last year?
I'm not against the idea of just saying, hey, go be top 6 guy, play in that mindset, play with those other players. I'm just saying, to the idea of playing with Dickinson and Foligno, I also don't think that would be bad of an idea, because that's also, you bring up a guy who, he had 3 games in the NHL at the end of last season, but still needs to get accommodated to the NHL. Playing with those 2 guys is a good way of
sure, and it's not like they're not offensively deficient.
No,
they can score a little bit, but I don't know. I think you just
I'm on board. I'm on board with him being a top 6 guy.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, to the idea of third line with those 2, I don't think it's a bad idea.
Why don't you just put him on with Hall and Bertuzzi?
Sure,
that might work. Yeah. Or you know what? Tell Philip Kurashev to go do whatever it is he does, and let him play on that. I don't know. It's a good problem to have, but knowing Anders Sörensen, he's going to want Frank Nazar to be up here and being a dangerous player.
Yeah.
Last year, the last game of the season, he was on a line with Nick Foligno and Joey Anderson. But again, different coach. That was the LA Kings game. Nazar was in between those 2 players. But again, different coach.
Also a different team.
Different team.
With different options.
And then he also played on a line with Landon Slaggert and Joey Anderson. But there wasn't a whole lot of options by the end of the year.
Landon Slaggert was also up here at the same time.
All right, so here's our news about our Top Shelf Takeover.
It's almost sold out.
There are 3 tickets left. 3 tickets left. And I would just say most people are going to buy at least 2.
You'd think.
So you've been like, well, you're going to be stuck. You got to do it now. Right now, allchgo.com. Go to our events page. Die Hard, you're going to save $80 per ticket. Yep, it's a Top Shelf event, so it's a Top Shelf ticket, but you're getting food and drink included. You're getting a nice swag bag with a CHGO Hawks t-shirt and a signed puck from Alex Vlasic, along with some other goodies. And you get to hang out with us in the suite all night long. So intermission, we'll be hanging around, chatting. It's going to be an amazing time. January 20th, Hawks and Hurricanes.
Hawks will still be in the midst of this 19-game heater that started tonight.
Yes. And I would pretty safe bet that Frank Nazar is going to be there on that game.
You'd think.
January 20th?
I would think so.
Could be.
Yes.
That'd be nice.
That means he's been called up and has been playing well enough to stay.
Stay up and around.
That was actually the plan the whole time. They were waiting for the takeover.
They were waiting for us to announce the takeover. Yeah.
Oh, they wanted to sell out. All right, well, we better do that quick.
If you want Frank Nazar to be here before the Winter Classic, buy the ticket to the Sweet Takeover.
Yeah. But really, there's 3 left, so most people are going to bring a friend.
A lot of people say that's the old scare tactic.
No, legitimately.
There are 3 tickets left.
Yes. 3 tickets left.
Our Blackhawk fans and listeners and diehards, once again, are proving to be the best here at CHGO in All City.
It's pretty incredible.
The diehardiest.
Yes, they are, and it's noticed. It is noticed by the powers that be in All City how awesome you guys are, and events like this that are going to sell out quickly. You know what that means? That means more Blackhawk events to come, because our Blackhawk events are guaranteed sellouts, and it's because of you guys. So
when we had these conversations about this event, some people are like, is this going to sell out? We're like, yes. Yeah, there's no doubt. It's a matter of when, not if. And I think it's gone about as quickly as we thought it would.
I mean, they've been on sale for
maybe a week.
We put them on sale Thursday after the Bruins game.
Yeah,
so half a week.
Wow.
4 days, and we're almost sold out, which means maybe by the end of this show, they're going to be gone. So
I mean, there were
get
5
them.
available when we started the watch along. So we sold 2 during the watch along.
Yep.
3 left. So jump on that. And again, reminder: if you're a diehard, you're going to save $80 per ticket. And I mentioned this too in the watch along. The price of a diehard membership is $80. So just become a diehard, then buy the ticket, and you basically get your diehard membership for free. And if you're taking a friend, you're going to save $160 on tickets.
And for those of you that, this might not be in your price range, we get it. It's the holiday season, and there will be another one of our standard takeovers before the end of the season too, where you get that more price-friendly option to come. And because of these events doing so well, I have been pressuring and been getting some positive feedback that, hey, remember when the Bears had all those trips to like London and Arizona this year?
Yeah.
Maybe next season we're all going to get on a plane and go somewhere and watch a Blackhawks game play. That'd be a lot of fun.
We took a trip to Nashville for the draft last year.
2 years ago.
In a minivan.
2 years ago. And basically said, like, with a day's notice, we're going to be at this bar. Like 15 people showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Just word of mouth. So, yeah. Like, you guys come through, and we appreciate that big time. Give yourselves a like on the YouTube page. Yep. Allison wants to know where you got the snowman.
I don't know. From a box in my shed with all the other Christmas stuff. I have no idea.
Been around for a while.
It's old. It's been around. Yeah. It's probably older than Allison. So I have no idea where it came from.
And Chris P says, what's the plan for the Winter Classic? We guys do a live show. We are doing a live show. We will not be on location anywhere. Remember, it's New Year's Eve in Wrigleyville. Yeah. They don't really need us or want us. Right, yeah, so the plan is for us to be live from an office at Wrigley Field after the game. But we will have a live post-game show.
Before the game, we may do a, hey, we're standing here, come say hello.
We'll be in Gallagher Way or
we'll
something.
We'll be in the area.
We'll be around. Yeah.
Alice wants to buy your snowman.
There's a thing called Super Chats.
I don't know. That's an expensive snowman.
Oh.
Oh, by the way, the website says sold out. That's
oh boy,
interesting.
Did people really did act fast?
Could be. Take our advice.
Could be.
I'm checking in with the powers that be.
All right. Anywho, we should probably talk about.
It was me, Austin.
Who do we want to talk about next on this Blackhawks win?
Well, I mean, look, our 4-star nominees were Korchinski. We covered that. We covered Bertuzzi. Here's a guy we never talk about: Connor Murphy. And for whatever reason, especially that guy who sits in front of us in the press box, really hates him. But, like,
come on, Murphy.
Connor Murphy what's he got, 9 assists this year?
10
assists. 10. Blocking shots like a madman.
5 shot attempts tonight. 6 block shots.
Yeah. Look, Connor Murphy is who he is, right? He is a defense-only defenseman who's going to sacrifice his body. He's going to play physical.
Yeah.
This was his best game of the year. Without a doubt. I think he surprised himself in the first period. He gets the puck on his stick, and he's walking in alone on Shesterkin like, what? Oh, my God. It took so long to shoot.
He had 5 shot attempts and 5 block shots in the first
period. It was almost all in the first period.
And he shut it down the next 2 periods.
But he went, wait a minute, I'm Connor Murphy. I can't be doing
I got to play some defense.
Yeah, I'm a little scared right now.
I mean, when is the next time? If you go to Hockey Stat Cards on Twitter, you can see the game score impacts from tonight's game. Across the board, wonderful game scores for everybody. But when are you ever going to see Connor Murphy's game score all the way to the right?
Yeah,
which is positive for those graphs. Second best game score tonight behind Taylor Hall. I mean, Murphy was everywhere. He was everywhere, and he's the longest tenured guy on this team. He's a guy that people are very, very quick to want to trade, and I think there's a lot to be said for the way that he plays. I think a night like tonight is very surprising because it's not his norm. But I think for the most part, what you can expect out of him each night is that he's going to get in front of shots. He's willing to play physical. He's willing to lay some hits against the opponents. He's willing to drop the gloves. Like, he's a good guy in the locker room by all accounts. He is really important to this team. Whether it's on or off the ice. So it's good to see him have this kind of game. I don't think it's going to be Anders Sorensen's going to unlock, Norris candidate Connor Murphy, but
Not with that attitude.
But it's good to see that even a guy like him who plays that style is adapting to the strategy change of activate the defenseman.
Yep. Longest tenured Chicago athlete, as Windy City Hockey points out. Just kind of crazy.
Longest athlete? Jeez.
Longest tenured.
Definitely longest Blackhawk. Crazy.
That sounds right.
All right, we got to hit the break zone one more time. Do us a favor. We got a lot of people watching, not enough likes. Please, please, please hit that like button for us on YouTube. I know it's kind of a pain. You got to slide that mouse over like 3 or 4 inches. But guess what? It helps us get pumped up so more people can see us, more people can join the show, more people can join the chat and become diehards and all that great stuff. It's super, super helpful. So do us a favor and do that for us. Back with a lot more on CHGO Blackhawks.
Hey, this holiday season, am I jumping the gun?
No, go for it.
Okay. Hey, this holiday season, Game Time is focused on togetherness. And that means when you bring people together at live events, the experience is that much better, and it's the perfect holiday gift. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks. Makes getting tickets for live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Game Time Picks curation makes it easier to save more on sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, all types of theater events, anything that you want to get a ticket to put your butt in a seat, or maybe you want to stand in the standing room only, whatever. Game Time is going to be able to get you there and for the right price because they have the all-in pricing feature, which shows you the total upfront so that there's no surprise fees when you get to checkout. And they have the views from your seats feature, so you can click on the seat that you want, see what the view looks like if you've never been to a arena or stadium before for whatever event you're going to and you want to see what the view will look like. Game Time allows you to see what it'll look like before you buy, so you make sure that you're getting the right seat for yourself. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code CHGO for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code CHGO, and you're going to get $28 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time.
Game time.
And if you like to wager, the Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money action on sports. It's great. It's what you do is you pick 2 or 3 players, more than less than. So Connor Bedard, 1.5 shots, more, less. Connor Murphy, block shots, 3.5, more, less. Boom. That's how you do it. It's a ton of fun. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Everybody loves that.
Yeah.
Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. Download the app today. Use the code CHGO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CHGO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Shout out to Thomas. Just joined the diehards to get one of those sweet tickets, but they're sold out.
Oh, no.
Is there a wait list for returns?
All right, well, here's the deal. I just got from the powers that be, I'm told that there are pending tickets right now. So someone has the tickets in their cart, but they have not been purchased yet. He says if 20 minutes go by and they're not bought, he will release them again.
Okay.
So keep your eye out. I will say, Thomas, that sucks that happened. But your diehard membership is still worth it. You're going to get a free shirt.
Still worth it.
You're going to get 20% off everything. But because the suite is the suite, there's only so many seats in there.
Mm-hmm.
But stay at it, man. Keep checking. Give it, I would say at this point, 15 minutes.
Couple minutes and just
check back and
just
see if they're open again. So
keep refreshing your page.
Yeah.
Here's a fun. I love fun stats, and this is a fun stat.
I like bad stats
from Sportsnet stats. Apparently, the Red Wings and Sabres had a wild game today.
They went to overtime, right?
Went to a shootout, and apparently Ville Husso got hurt.
No.
And Sebastian Cossa came in relief, and the Red Wings won 6-5 in a shootout, making Sebastian Cossa the first goalie in NHL history to win his debut via shootout in a relief effort.
Wow.
That is a very specific stat.
Whoa. I mean, yeah, if
I love
if it
stuff like
almost
that.
never happens ever. Holy crap.
Well, it's only happened once.
That's
Nate,
crazy.
check the Slack for the Red Wings petty 3 stars of the game from their social media page.
Oh, that's
Apparently, they couldn't find a picture of Jason Zucker. This is pretty funny. We'll show it up here in a second. That is amazing.
Wow. I mean,
I'm all for
geez.
petty, even when it's from the Red Wings.
Jason Zucker's only been in the league for 15 years.
Really,
Oh, man,
15,000
that's
years.
crazy. Well, and then there was a whole thing about Cossa like not playing at all because Ville Husso's played. You were saying like 4
This
straight
is his
games.
fourth start in a row.
Yeah, and they called Cossa up when Cam Talbot got hurt, and he's just been riding the bench. Maybe you should have played him. They'd have 2 healthy goalies instead of just 1 now.
There it is.
There's a lot of problems in Detroit right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of
true.
coaches who are
What
going to
is
be
this?
looking for,
What is that?
That is amazing. They found the tiniest Buffalo Sabres logo they could find for the third star
is
of the
the
game.
background?
same one they used in the score bug up top.
Is it it's the same size?
It's the same. It's the same logo.
It's just smoke background. Yeah, it's just against a smoky background. It's great.
That's so weird.
That's amazing.
well, they don't win very much there, so they got to take their shots when they get
it's.
there.
I do appreciate a good level of petty, though. That's just the smallest possible Sabres logo.
That's interesting.
Don't worry about the third star. It doesn't matter what his face looks like.
Yeah, right.
That's great. That's great. All right, who else we got to talk about? We got to get to our bits.
Should we do our bits?
We must tend to our bits.
Yes. Do we have a 4-star winner yet, Nate?
Not quite yet.
Too
Okay.
close to
I got to
call.
end it still, yeah.
All right, let's
close
do
to
Who's Your
call.
Hawk.
Who's your Hawk?
I know it ain't me.
Who was it?
By a half a point.
3 and a hook.
Connor Bedard, 3.5.
One of my former coworkers used to always say.
Ryan Donato, 3 points. I'm catching Jay.
Feels
Man,
good.
you were about to run away with that on that breakaway. But one extra move.
Feels
Jerk.
good. Feels
Bummer.
good to be a winner.
Yes, I have to catch Jay before I can catch Mario. That's just.
That's
how That's math- science.
That's how math works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Right. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's fine.
I'm currently winning the marathon.
Yes. Somebody said in the chat, Cossa was the first goalie to win with 0 saves. No, he made 12 saves and gave up 2 goals. So
What? He was in there for 12 shootouts?
no, he was in the game. He made 12 saves in the game. Like he didn't go in just for the shootout.
Oh, the way you read it, I was thinking
He's the first goalie.
Husso got hurt in the shootout
No.
and Cossa had to go in for the
He was
shootout.
the first goalie to win his NHL debut in a shootout, which was also a relief appearance.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I read it exactly how it was typed.
Still crazy.
It sounded like Husso got hurt in the shootout and Cossa came in
No,
the shootout.
He got
Okay.
hurt in the
Well, then
second
I'm-
period.
Less impressed.
You should never be impressed by anything a Red Wing does.
Sure.
Yeah, unless you're falling apart and losing all the time.
Got it. Yeah. Hey, who's your Hawk? I like the scoring system this year. It's even though I feel like I've been winning a lot, you guys are still close. So
That's how it should be.
It's good. It's good for
Yes.
Good for your
And
morale.
I don't like the whole blue line thing. Now it's purple lines. It's garbage because I don't trust their system. Because there's been many nights where you be like, you look at the hockey stat card and you see the top guy and you go, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was Taylor Hall tonight.
And then you look at the bottom guy and you be like, okay, there's some nights where you go, wait a minute, that guy I thought had a good game, and then he's like a negative 0.6, and you're like, that doesn't make sense.
The lowest guy tonight was about a minus half a point game score. It was Pat Maroon.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, the best rated Hawks: Hall, Murphy, Vlasic,
Hall, Murphy,
Bertuzzi.
Vlasic, Bertuzzi, Kaiser, Dickinson, Korch, Brody, Bedard. Yeah, and They all
just saying, there were some nights last year where like I'd have a guy like I think I've got a good chance of going to the blue lines, and he'd be like, oh, he had a couple shots, he was a +1, and then you'd look and he was like the third lowest scorer. Like, oh, I don't get this, I don't like this.
Oh, you don't like it because it doesn't go in your favor,
right? I don't like anything that doesn't go in my favor. I don't think I'm in an exclusive club right now.
No, that makes sense. I mean, at least he's honest about it. That's all you can ask for. Is
when things don't go my way, I don't like it.
Yes.
Call me a jerk.
Jerk. You're a jerk. Hey, we should shout out, by the way. We did not do it in the watch along. Our friends at Salerno's on tap gave us a nice deal on some pizzas for the watch along, which we appreciate.
Always delicious.
Got that thick crust for the first time?
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Nice.
That's good stuff. Get yourself some Salerno's.
My gluten-free crust was it was delicious as always.
All right. Well, it's such a celebratory night. Like, who else have we not sung the praises of? Is there anyone that we need to bag on?
No, I don't think so.
We're all good on 4-star now.
All right.
No, I think tonight, as the now Purple Lions would tell you, pretty much everyone had a positive impact on the game. I think it was like across the board. I don't think there's really anyone to rag on. Again, it was sloppy at times, but it was sloppy for both teams, and out of that allowed the team to kind of run and gun a little bit, and that's something we haven't seen, and they thrived in it tonight. So hard to really bag on anybody when you come away with a 2-1 victory where there's more positives than negatives to even focus on.
Yeah, I agree. There's no one who stood out as, ugh.
No, but I do. Once again, we talked about it in our pregame or in the watch along, so I know not all of you were part of that. I still want to see Lukas Reichel get a shot on that top line. Mikheyev, I understand the reasoning behind it, but again, that line just not. I mean, Bedard had moments where he looked good out there, but it just wasn't. Philip Kurashev does nothing for me anymore. Like, he just needs to. Yeah, I'm tired of trying to make it work with Connor Bedard. So
we've seen enough evidence to see that it doesn't work.
And pregame, Anders Sörensen was talking about Reichel, was asked about Reichel, and he said he wants him to maybe play up in the lineup here soon. But the fourth line has been their best line, and he was the only line that they trust. That's what he said about the fourth line. They trust that line. He didn't say the only line, but he said they trust that line. Well, Craig Smith is out. We don't know when he's coming back. He didn't play tonight, so that fourth line had Joey Anderson on there. And, you got to – I put Reichel up there. Reichel, Bedard, Teravainen, let it roll. Let it go. Multiple games. That second line is pretty much set where the way you got it. Donato in between Bertuzzi and Hall was good tonight. And then, if you bring up Nazar here in a couple days, then you can mix it up a little bit. But to me, Kurashev's the odd man out right now.
I agree. And someone was asking what do you do when
he's done nothing.
Nazar gets here, who sits?
Yeah,
he hasn't been great defensively. He's done nothing offensively. I'm not sure what he does for this team right now. He might be a guy that needs a reset.
I think if you get a few games under Sörensen with him, you get an idea of where he can be at with the new system. And if it's all the same stuff, then if it is Frank Nazar coming up next week at some point, then I think you take a look, you take a long look at Kurashev and what's his impact and where does he fit, and maybe it needs to be a lineup without him for a few games to see where you're at.
Yeah, and Tristan asked in the chat real quick, what's up with Anderson? I thought he was sent down. He was waived. They have 30 days to send him down where he will no longer have to clear waivers. Once that 30 days passes, they'll have to waive him again. All right, 4-star time. Who is the winner, Nate?
It is... All
right. Tyler Bertuzzi.
Tyler Bertuzzi.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely
that's good.
One of the more noticeable Hawks today. Just recapping his line: a goal, 5 shots on goal, 10 shot attempts. He was a menace.
Very active
tonight. Very much what you want to see from him. All right, we are off tomorrow.
Got a positive note here.
Yeah,
Blackhawks are no longer 32nd in the NHL.
Take that, Nashville.
Take that. Raise your banner for that, Nashville.
They are tied for 31st.
You won the offseason, but you can't score a goal in the regular season.
That's right.
How does Andrew Burnett still have a job, by the way?
Maybe not for long.
Yep.
Don't hire him, by the way. All right. Off tomorrow. Back Wednesday. We're going to talk to PD on Wednesday. Going to get some systems comparisons along with a bunch of other fun. We love having PD on. Everybody loves PD. So make sure you catch that and go right now. allchgo.com. Hit that refresh button. Maybe those tickets got released.
Keep checking.
It's not looking great if you didn't get in for our top shelf takeover. But don't worry. We've got more takeovers coming throughout the year. We'll keep you informed. There's going to be more. They might not be top shelf, but you'll get some. No worries about that.
Middle shelf still's got good
Middle
stuff
shelf
on
is
it.
great.
Yeah, middle shelf.
We've got a very successful record on takeovers, except for that dastardly Patrick Kane who ruined ours last year.
I don't remember that.
Never happened. So, all right, we'll talk to you Wednesday, 2:30 showtime, 3 o'clock for PD. We should have some news from practice, maybe a call-up. Who knows? We'll find out. We'll talk to you then on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.